town in Michigan. After spending 4 years in college in Grand Rapids, I moved back home, and I still live here today. I had an older brother named Ted. Ted was 3 years older than me, and he was my best friend. He was a grease-stained legend in our town, a junkyard mechanic with an uncanny ability to breathe life into rusted-out heaps of metal. If there was an engine, no matter how dead, Ted could make it purr. He was the guy who never wore gloves, always had oil under his nails, and smelled faintly of gasoline and old leather. Growing up, my brother Ted and I were inseparable. He had an insatiable love for speed, and I swear he was born with a wrench in one hand and a steering wheel in the other. When he wasn't fixing cars, he was tearing down back roads, pushing every vehicle he touched to its limit. It's not about the speed, he used to say. It's about feeling alive. But one night, speed betrayed him. I was halfway through my junior year of college when I got the call. Ted had crashed. The wreck was so bad they said the car crumpled like a soda can, the kind of accident no one walks away from. They assured me he died on impact, but I couldn't bring myself to picture it. To me, Ted would always be grinning from under the hood of some old muscle car, wiping grease on his jeans, planning his next joyride. I took a week off from school to come home for the funeral. It felt surreal standing there among family and friends, listening to people talk about Ted in the past tense. When the week was over, I went back to college, threw myself back into my studies, and did my best to push the grief aside. But it never really left. I eventually graduated and moved back home. A few years later, I had a daughter. She was born long after Ted was gone, so naturally she never knew him. As far as I remember, I never mentioned Ted around her. I had shared a few stories with my wife, but never in front of our daughter. The only way she could have had any exposure to him was a single picture of Ted and me hanging on our living room wall, tucked among several other family photos. But when she turned 3, she started acting strange, dropping hints that my brother Ted had been visiting her. At first, it was little things, waking up in the middle of the night and coming into our room. I chalked it up to nightmares, the kind all kids have. But every time I took her back to bed and asked what was wrong, she'd whisper the same thing. The guy in my room. She always pointed at the same spot, the corner by her dresser. At first I brushed it off as childhood imagination, but it kept happening. Night after night, she'd wake up wide-eyed, not crying, not panicked, just certain that someone had been there. And then, one night, she gave him a name. Uncle Ted. The hairs on my arm stood up. She had never met him. She barely even knew of him outside of a few framed pictures on the wall. My stomach tightened as I asked, "How do you know that name?" She just shrugged. He told me. That dresser, it had been in my family for years, passed down through generations. But after that, I couldn't look at it the same way. Late at night, I started sitting in the hallway outside her room, just listening. And then one night, I heard it. Not words, not a voice. Just the faintest creak like someone shifting their weight against the wood. To this day, I don't know what to believe. But my daughter never seemed afraid. If it really was Ted, then maybe, just maybe, he was only doing what he had always done, looking out for his little brother.